Well, back onto your business journey, looking back on the last 4 years, is there anything that you wish you had a do-over, or you would, if you could go back and do it again, you thought, oh, I wouldn't have done that? Things that you would like to go back and improve on?
Yeah, I guess I've kind of learned through my journey these last 10 years is I'm not going to spend a lot of time thinking about the past because you go forward. I think, thinking about this, and I probably answer this question differently every time, but I think really to not take things so serious. We had a moment where somebody from our assisted living locators corporate came to kind of do like an on-site training visit, which of course happened probably a year and a half later because of the pandemic. And it was nice because Catherine was able to be there with me. And there was four of us. We had so much fun that day. And it was a reminder to have fun, to to not always take everything so serious. And you're not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to screw up. And to not take everything so serious, and it is okay to have fun when appropriate, laughter, and it's a serious topic that I'm working with families with dementia and things like that. So, definitely there's a time and a place for humor, but it is important. It's important to love what you do, believe in what you do. For me, it's very important that I believe that I'm making a difference.
Yeah. Which you did in your family business. I remember that so clearly, talking to you early on, how you talk to some people, and it's such an emotional journey, their parents or their mom, and it's still so fresh that that's what's driving it versus something that's really deep seated in your soul. That you and I are wired up very similarly. By the way, you just used one of my favorite words in business, which is fun. This is not what people think about with a business, but yeah, to do something that you get up every day and say, I wear this mantle. It doesn't wear me. I'm wearing it. And I'm really proud to be out there wearing this logo and doing this work. And I've always admired you for that.
Yeah, while we were vetting which franchise I wanted to work with, that was really important was those core values and that they would align with mine. And I can't say, oh, I think in a way it was kind of just a happy chance, but I really did find a great organization. And it's not easy, as any business isn't. I think once at some point you had sent me some sort of a funny graph about the business owner, the highs and lows. And I used to share that with people. And then I would say, and that's just was last hour, right? It can happen so fast where you're like, I love this. This was the best thing I did. And oh my gosh, what was I thinking? I shouldn't have been doing this. And that's that part of the business owner, which I think me having experience with that was helpful to remind myself that there are those highs and lows, and it's risk. It's a risk adventure. But, at some point you can think to yourself, what are you to lose? You pick up and you move on, right? You re-identify yourself, but you certainly picked up a lot of skills and different things to be able to go forward. And I wanted to make sure that I was in a business that I could I could scale it up and be as large as I wanted to, or I could just do this with one or two people. That was important to me because of past businesses that I didn't want to have to focus so much on employees and recruiting, retaining, retention, because being in the trucking industry, that's been a challenge for a very long time.
Yes, it has. You've got a beautiful scalable model. And as you have grown your business, so now you're fully into both territories?
Yes, I
Okay.
think, part of me is wanted to grow slow,
Yeah.
and just because that reputation is so important and you can't get that back, or it's hard to get back. So it's definitely, and it's finding the right person because
Mhm.
I didn't have a timeline. So we found the right person, and she's, very connected and highly regarded in the senior industry in the Milwaukee area, particularly. So it was the perfect fit. And our values are the same and aligned. I don't have to worry about things like that. That we're really focused on helping seniors and their families, and success comes from that, I believe.
Yeah.
So my focus isn't sales, sales, sales. It's really doing the right thing, helping our seniors, and that's why I hope that's why I think some of the best business I get is from my our past clients. When they refer family members or friends or colleagues, and I think there's no higher compliment than that. That they
Yeah.
know that we did the best that we could, for their loved one.
Absolutely vital. My mom was a hospice nurse and then founded a hospice 40 something years ago. And at age 87, she's still participating in community education. It's not even so much hospice as the whole notion of palliative care. And I interviewed Angela, founder of Assisted Living Locators, last year. We had a really interesting podcast interview about her view of assisted living support mechanisms for people who need very particular types of support, and being really careful not only with you, her franchisees, but understanding too how variable the emotions are when you get to different types of diagnoses and the sensitivities that those family members have. You're really the perfect person for this business.
There are times when I'm working with a family and it turns into more of a conversation about hospice that they're having with their medical staff. And they've asked me to sit in on that meeting because I've been their person. And I feel that is such an honor for me to be able to continue to help the family in any way that I can. So maybe that's not a financial gain, but is a gain in other ways, which I think is just as important.